Hi, I'm Shelley Maurer,
And I'm Cher Emmerich. Welcome to Life Lessons from Pickleball.
where we engage with pickleball players from around the world about life on and off the court.
Thanks for joining us.
Before we get started, we have something really exciting to share.
Our book, Life Lessons from Pickleball, is now available on Amazon, and a portion of every sale is donated to Operation Paddle Lift.
Your purchase helps deliver paddles, nets, and resources to underserved communities around the world.
Thank you for being a part of growing the game we all love. Now let's jump into today's episode. Welcome, everyone, to Life Lessons from Pickleball. Today we are so honored to welcome Suryaveer Singh Bhullar, president of the Indian Pickleball Association and one of the key leaders helping grow pickleball across India.
Suryaveer has been deeply involved in building the sport through major tournaments, league development, school outreach, and international competition, all while helping shape a bigger vision for pickleball's future in India.
He also brings a unique background from the film world, where he has worked as a director, producer, and filmmaker in Bollywood, adding another layer to a story that already spans sport, leadership, and big vision.
Suryaveer, you're helping lead pickleball in one of the most dynamic countries in the world. Take us back. How did you first come into pickleball?
Hi, Shelley. Hi, Cher. Well, it was during the COVID time that I got introduced to the sport by a friend of mine. It was in 2021. And he mentioned that he plays a sport called pickleball. And it kind of tickled me that there was a sport called pickleball. And I was very curious to know what that was. And it took me a few days to get convinced to go with him. And one fine morning, he picked me up from home and took me to the courts to play pickleball. And I think I haven't stopped playing ever since. So my journey did start more as a player, and I think it just organically got me into the administration part of the sport. I never, aimed to be where I am. Never worked towards, an ambition to be where I am. I think it happened very organically, and I think that's the whole beauty of where I am today, because it's not politically driven. It's totally passion driven. More as a player who wants to do something good for the sport.
So cool. In fact, you've said you would play 24/7 if you could.
Yeah, absolutely.
So did you know pretty early that this was a sport that would grow in India, or did it take some time, or what?
Yeah, in fact, when I did pick up the sport, I realized this was a wonderful sport. It could be picked up by anybody at any age. And initially, when I started playing, there were a lot of people my age who were playing, in their 50s, in their 60s. And I did initially think this was more a sport for people past their prime or retired. But then we saw some kids walking in from nearby apartments. We saw a lot of other, parents bringing their kids and coming to play. And then I think in about last 2 years, I've seen so many youngsters picking up the sport. Not just people who are coming from tennis, but we've seen, children coming in as a first sport. Pickleball is the first sport. That got me thinking that, okay, this is something that's going to become big in India. It has the potential to be the second largest sport after cricket. And that kind of fueled our passion to do a lot more. Today, the IPA is, working in 26 states of India, and we have more than 10,000 players registered with us as serious players. We probably have a few lakhs who are already playing recreationally, and hopefully we should slowly convert them into some serious players also. So I do believe that in India, at least, pickleball is going to become a huge sport.
So what is your vision for pickleball in India?
I believe for any sport to grow, it has to, be a part of the school curriculum. So as of now, we are working towards getting pickleball included in the school curriculum in India. And we've also recently announced an inter-school national level pickleball championship. So I believe that once the sport goes into the schools, I think it's going to really, really explode in India. And that's the way I'll be able to, take it to the grassroots. So my vision is to, take the sport into the school.
And are there any schools yet, or this is a brand new campaign?
No, there are a lot of schools, in fact, but
that have pickleball.
who
Of
are
course,
already,
there's.
they're already, making pickleball courts in their campuses. A lot
Okay.
of schools are encouraged now because in the last couple of years we've seen a lot of young kids who have done exceedingly well at international level, and that kind of brings back a lot of pride for the school. So it is
Mhm.
I think it's a movement that's already happening. This inter-school championship is kind of going to just take it to the next level.
How did you get involved in the administrative side, IPA?
So I picked up the sport in a city called Ahmedabad, which is in Gujarat. Gujarat is also the city our prime minister comes from, or the state rather, where our prime minister comes from. And after a year of playing, and my coach, who Mr. Dhiren Patel, who was at that time running the state body, approached me and said, "You have so much of passion, and we need someone like you to get involved in the administration because it'll help. So would you like to become president of the Gujarat State Pickleball Association?"
Uh-huh.
And I had just moved to Ahmedabad from Mumbai. I had taken decided to shift to kind of slow down my life, take it easy. So I said, yeah, why not? I have the time. Let me get involved, and I became the president of Gujarat. And then after I took over in less than a year, from just 2 courts, we went to 100+ courts in Ahmedabad. And then the IPA, the people in IPA said, "Listen, you're doing a great job in Gujarat, and we'd love to replicate that model across the country. And why don't you consider becoming the president?" Because the earlier president was on his way out. So yeah, I said I like to take up a challenge. So I said, yes, why not? Let me do that. Part of our vision is, of course, to get the sport into the Commonwealth Games. We are in fact working with a team from the GPF, the Global Pickleball Federation, and we've kind of tried to get together all the Commonwealth countries and hope to get a Commonwealth Cup happening for pickleball. India is hosting the Commonwealth Games in 2030. So as the host country, we can bring in two new sports. So by kind of doing a Commonwealth Cup and showing the countries, and showing India that there are enough countries in the Commonwealth playing pickleball, we hope to convince them to get pickleball into the Commonwealth game in 2030. We're also working with the Asian Pickleball Association to do an Asia Cup for pickleball this year itself, wherein we have about 18 countries in Asia who take part in a Davis Cup kind of format for pickleball.
Wow.
Yeah.
So major events, it seems like major events and tournaments are really important in growing the sport.
Yeah, they are. I mean, the more tournaments that take place, the more players get interested. There's a lot of prize money coming into pickleball. I think more than there is in tennis or any other sport, and that's
Yeah.
again encouraging a lot of players to come into pickleball. I think there are great career opportunities in pickleball already in India. We have a lot of players and a lot of people making a livelihood out of playing pickleball, out of coaching pickleball, out of officiating for pickleball tournaments. So now with IPA, we are trying to bring this all under a proper structured umbrella, where we have started offering certification for coaches. We've got a proper coaching curriculum for players. We've been setting up high performance centers under IPA. So we have our first center of excellence in Ahmedabad, which is where we are training more than 150 people in pickleball. We have our national coach, Dhiren Patel, who is heading this center, and we've already set up 3 more high performance centers across India. There's a proper structure now that has come in. The government is now looking at pickleball more seriously. Our last meeting we even spoke about opening up some grants for pickleball, and yeah, things are looking good.
That is looking good, especially since you ended up spending so much of your own money. It's nice to have some outside funds coming in, right?
Absolutely, yeah,
I'm like, so much for taking it easy,
yeah,
right?
That's why you moved to
Look
Ahmedabad.
at everything you've done. Wow.
yeah. That's what I always laugh about and joke with my friends, that I actually came to Ahmedabad from Mumbai to slow down my life, but it's been like a crazy ride ever since. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so funny. So, the India Pickleball Association is a member of the Global Pickleball Federation.
Yes.
Yes. So we had Ruth Rosenquist on for Global Pickleball Federation. And can you explain what does that mean if you are a member of GPF? What does that partnership, or is it a partnership, or what is it?
No, GPF is obviously the single largest international federation. We do know that there are a couple of others in existence, but I think GPF is definitely the international federation that is working in a proper way as per the IOC code of conduct. IPA is one of the Class A members of GPF. So for any national federation, it's very important to be part of a world federation or global federation. And that's why it is important for IPA to be recognized by GPF. And GPF has a policy wherein only national federations of a country are given the membership, Class A membership status. So I believe there are very few countries in the world today who are national federations. And I think India is one, IPA is one amongst them. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's fantastic. It's amazing what you've accomplished in such a short period of time.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I do think back and I look at, 2021 January, and I think 4 years it's been crazy. But I always believe, I believe that when you do something with a pure intent and something which is not driven by ambition or politics, I think eventually something good comes out of it.
I agree. I agree. And I saw trailers of some of the movies that you've produced, and they look fantastic. Honestly, just the trailer alone is like, whoa, I definitely want to see those films. How were you always in production? How did you get involved in that?
Well, I was always crazy about cinema and films. And of course, in my growing up years, it wasn't a very good profession to be seen in. My parents were never were never supportive of that. Especially, I come from a family of bureaucrats, and so yeah, for a long time I was in a very conventional business. But in 2005, I think I decided that okay, I'm done. Now I'm not happy what I'm doing, and I'm going to follow what I want to do. And I shifted to Mumbai, and I set up a production company. And I produced my first film in 2012, and it was actually the film didn't do too well. I lost a lot of money in that film, and it almost got me bankrupt. But I didn't give up. I went on to make another film, and that film did really, really well, and brought me back. And yeah, so that's how my journey started. I've always wanted to make films. It's been something that as a kid I was very fascinated by. I've always been more inclined towards creative things than not really inclined towards the normal business or profession. So yeah, so films. I'm also a chef, so food is another thing I like. Yeah.
So you're a creator.
So has your film background shaped the way you've promoted and built pickleball?
Yeah, it does help. So especially when I'm sitting with my social media teams and new youngsters, who are influencers and who believe they know it all. So I think I do bring in a little bit of, calm and composure there, a little bit of structure in there. I help them with some of my own ideas. And yeah, I think it's really helped a lot. I also look at, I try to understand pickleball, how it's going to be become, more acceptable to viewers, because as of now, the biggest challenge we feel is people love to play pickleball, but they don't like to watch pickleball. So yeah, I think we need to make pickleball more entertaining. I do believe it needs to be a mix of, sport and entertainment, at least initially, for people to start watching it. And I think with the IPBL League, I think we did a little bit of that this year. It was more of a show, with a lot of, lights and a lot of glamour. And I did see a rise in viewership, and I'm hoping that our season 2 is going to get bigger and better.
Brilliant. I love watching it. So it's hard for me to imagine people don't love it. I love playing it. I'd rather play it, obviously, but it is so much fun to watch.
That's what I'd rather play it than watch it myself, right? But I do watch a lot of pickleball because I like to learn from watching.
Yes.
But if you give me a choice between watching pickleball and playing, I'll any day be playing pickleball.
Well, with
Hands
all you've
down.
done, I don't know how you have time to play.
I know.
So if I don't play, I'll never be able to do what I'm doing.
Uh-huh.
So yeah,
In fact, what level are you playing right now? Do you have duper?
we have Duper, but we do. I'm not really been too active on Duper, but I'm ranked number 2 in India in 50 plus
You
men's
don't need a
doubles.
duper score. You're number 2 in
Yeah,
India.
yeah. I also won a gold at the recent World Cup in Florida, in which I played the 0.5 men's doubles.
Oh my.
So
Whoa,
we won the gold in that.
Wow.
I've
excellent.
also won a gold in the Asian Championship, which was in 2022. So when I started playing, and we never had intermediate or beginner, so I went into advanced straight away. So I've never played in that intermediate beginner level ever. Yeah. I think I would be like a 4.5 to 5 between that and on a duper. Yeah.
Oh, I
Wow.
think at least. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
at least.
Yeah.
Nice.
I was talking to Tito about how, the duper needs to be reworked because they definitely need to have an age category duper because
Definitely.
but what happens
Yeah.
is the club which I have in Ahmedabad, which I own and where I play, I am the only player 50 plus player in the club. So I'm playing with 18-year-olds and 16-year-olds on a daily basis. So obviously I don't win, and my duper keeps going down. So I was telling
Yeah.
Tito that is not a very fair way to assess. It has to be age
Absolutely.
categorized. You have to have that category going. So let's see how it goes.
It
I hope.
definitely has to happen.
Yeah,
And gender also.
And
absolutely,
gender.
absolutely.
There you
Yes.
Yeah,
go.
it has to be
That's right.
gender and age based. I mean, you can't have one uniform rating system wherein you're rating a 50 plus player with a 20-year-old. It's not working
Yeah.
that way. Yeah,
Especially
No.
because even the tournaments, PPA even has age categories.
yeah.
And now they're
All
moving
tournaments
into
have age
80s.
categories.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I'm 70, so I definitely want the 70s and 80s to be
Absolutely,
in there.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So
Sure.
we recently
So,
had conducted a tournament here in Ahmedabad. It was called the Indian Masters, which was only for senior players. Uh, I was very, very surprised with the amount of 70 plus players who took part in that tournament.
wow.
Isn't that
Yeah,
excellent?
we had 28 players in 70 plus.
Wow. That
Whoa.
is
I'm coming
great.
out there. So, I think when we talked once before, you mentioned kind of a very sweet story of one of the players who grew up in a farm and kind of, do you remember? Can you
Yeah, so
tell that story?
there's a girl in Mumbai who comes from a village. I think and she's the daughter of a farmer. And today she is, I think, definitely among the top 3 pickleball players in the country. And
Wow.
she played our last IPBL league also. And she's done really well for pickleball, and pickleball's done really well for her. I think it's helped her financially also in a big way. And she now even coaches kids in a village. So yeah, yeah, yeah.
Where's the village? Near
In
Mumbai or
Maharashtra,
in Maharashtra? Yeah.
yes,
My old stomping grounds,
yeah.
Maharashtra. Very
So
cool.
there are a lot of interesting stories in India. So in our center of excellence, we have a lot of coaches who come from really really modest backgrounds, and pickleball has really changed their lives. They're doing very well financially. They make a decent living from pickleball coaching. So I
Uh-huh.
think in India, it's something that's really changing lives. Yeah,
Oh, and once all the schools take it on, I just can't imagine. I mean, it teaches so many things. In fact, let
absolutely.
me ask you, what are some life lessons that you've gleaned through your experience with pickleball?
So, well, in my case personally, one thing that I always tell everybody is that you're never too old and it's never too late. So that's
Yeah.
what I've learned from pickleball, and I believe that any sport actually teaches you a lot of inclusivity, and
Hmm.
I think pickleball more than anything is the most inclusive sport. I think
Yeah.
I have seen entire families who come to play pickleball. I have seen people from, different levels of life. I mean, there's no rich, no poor, and everybody's, when they're on the court, I think it's one big happy family playing pickleball. So I think that's the beauty of the sport. It's inclusive, it's social, and I think anybody who plays pickleball is happy. I think it has a yeah,
So true. So
yeah,
true. It doesn't matter what our economic backgrounds are, our
yeah,
political
yeah,
persuasions, or faith, or anything else. Give me
yes,
a paddle, give me a ball. Let's get out on the
yeah,
court and have fun. Oh,
absolutely, absolutely. And I mean anywhere, anytime, it's just so much fun. I think if I don't play pickleball, I think I come back home and my wife says, "Okay, you didn't have a game in today. I can see it on your face."
the no game day face. That's really funny. That's good.
Yeah.
So, how can people, do you need people to support IPA, or, what can our viewers and listeners, how could they
Yes, of
be
course, we are
supportive?
we are looking at a lot of support. For any sport to grow, there is a need for financial support, and
Uh-huh.
yes, we are definitely looking for financial support. We do fall under the CSR, which is I don't know what CSR term stands for in the US, but in India, so we are eligible for donations in the sense.
Uh-huh.
So
A
we are a
nonprofit.
not-for-profit entity. So we have started now talking to companies in India, corporates in India, and hopefully we are looking at a lot of potential sponsors coming in. But yes, we need help. We need equipment. We need sponsors. We need volunteers. We need we need all the help we can.
Fantastic. Speaking of volunteers, do you have a team of volunteers across India working with you?
Yes, we do. So we have, like I said, we have 26 states under IPA, and each state has its own state association, and
Uh-huh.
every state association has a minimum of 7 members, and so that's almost 26 into 7. That's the number of people we have who
Wow.
are part of IPA. And then under
Wow.
IPA, we have different teams, group. We have like a athletes commission, which looks after player problems. We have a POSH committee, which is prevention of sexual harassment. So that looks after that aspect.
Cool.
We have finance committees, we have grievance redressal committees, we have tournament committees. So yeah, we've got a lot of people who are doing a voluntary work for IPA, and of course we also have hired some professionals who work on a salary. Because that is something really required. We need some full-time people. Yes, we are building an ecosystem. We are building a team, and yeah, things are looking really, really good. I work almost 16 hours a day. I'm available on phone all the time. I've been traveling for the last 1 year. I've traveled to all 26 states, personally.
Wow.
And
Wow.
wherever I go, wherever there's a tournament, I go and I play and I spend time there with people. Since I'm a player, I have a great relationship with all the players. All my players in India, they respect me, and I do believe they all like me.
I have no doubt. That's so cool. So, how can people find you online and the association too?
Well, we have our website, which is ipaofficial.com, and we have our contact numbers and emails mentioned over there. And we are also on Instagram, where again you can reach out to us. And yeah, these are the two public domains that we can be reached out on. Plus,
Perfect.
personally, I'm available on LinkedIn and Instagram, and yeah, I'm very easily accessible. I'm not one of those presidents who doesn't, respond or doesn't is not easily available. In fact, I'm accessible to everybody here.
Wow.
That's
Another
great.
reason why people like you.
Yeah.
Because you're accessible. So, for somebody who is brand new to the sport, maybe they're just discovering it there in India, what would you say to them?
So I always tell people that pickleball is an easy sport to pick up but difficult to master.
Yeah.
So at the same time, it's a very personal choice. I believe you just play the sport. If you want to play it for fun, play it for fun. If you want to, take it up seriously, we are there to help you. But just pick up a paddle and go and play, because if nothing else, is going to make you feel happy and healthy.
Indeed.
Yes.
Happy and
Yes.
healthy.
Yeah,
And feel young again. Feel like you're in the recess of school,
absolutely,
playing
absolutely.
on the playground.
This
Wow.
is.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Suryaveer. Really appreciate it. I know how busy you are, and the fact that you said yes, you'd be on the show and you took time to do this.
No,
Really
I'm happy
appreciate
that
it.
I'm happy to be on the show with you. I'm happy that you looked at us, recognized us, the work we're doing, because it's important that people know about us and
Yes.
people
Yeah.
know about what IPA is doing, and
Yeah.
that's the only way I think we can all grow the sport together and take it to the Olympics.
Yes.
That's our goal. Get in the Olympics. That's
Yes,
going to be so exciting.
yes.
Well, I thank you. Thank you so much for being on the show. Really
Thank you.
wonderful.
Thank
And
you so much.
you know about this. I think you know about this book. You're going to be in volume 2 because this
Okay.
book, Life Lessons from Pickleball, is a sweet book with the first 80 some guests of our show, a little bit
Amazing.
about each one and their life lesson. And it's just the sweetest gift. And it's great for tournaments, little prizes for tournaments, and just very inspiring stories, just like yours. So I just can't wait till we do volume 2 and we get you in that one.
Oh, I'm
But
looking
thank
forward to
you.
that.
Thank you so much.
Thank
And
you.
thank you, everyone. Oh my gosh, share this. Share this with everyone you know. Look at how this game is going all around the world and changing lives and changing states and countries and villages and you name it. It's bringing life and joy and play to an amazing world. Thank you all, and we look forward to a new conversation next week. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
If you love our podcast, we'd be so grateful if you'd take a few seconds to follow or subscribe to Life Lessons from Pickleball. This ensures you'll never miss an episode and helps us continue these wonderful conversations.
On Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen, go to the show page and tap the follow button in the top right corner. And on YouTube, click the subscribe button under any of the episodes.
Thanks so much. Hope to see you on the court.